Hey, purpose for me. I ain't gonna stay here too long because it's 9:30, so you know where I'm at. Chick-fil-A. So they close at 10, but they usually don't close the doors right away. Well, they clean up, but they don't really bother people because people are walking here at the last minute. So what's been going on, purpose? Have you been doing any of those merchandising gig apps? Suddenly, I couldn't. I don't get as many assignments like I used to, but I've been doing some other ones as well. I should be one. Oh, just DoorDash. Well, I've been doing other things, but the other apps I was doing, but it hasn't really been a whole lot of jobs and stuff lately. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm starting to go back to look for a regular job myself. I mean, full time, put it that way, because the part time job is all right, but I'm not making enough money with them. You know, driving around and I may get 15 hours or do 15 hours, but even at the number of tickets that I have to complete and the number of stores, like this is the last week before it starts over again, and it could be anywhere from 15 to 20 hours, but most of the time when I'm driving, it ends up to be about 15 hours, 14, 15 hours. And I'm like, dang, it seems like I've been out half the day and that's it. So I did an assessment test with State Farm. I thought I didn't pass, but I got an email this morning to take a video interview. Yeah, that's what it is for, the supplementary income. So I applied for a job at State Farm and I have a video record interview to do tomorrow morning. I'm gonna do it tomorrow when I wash my hair and put on me a nice blouse that I don't want to do no phone interview. I don't want to do the video interview with a t-shirt on looking crazy. So, and then I've been trying to apply for a position with Comcast, but I don't want to do telesales because that's part time. I don't want to be calling people on the phone asking them, "Do you want to sign up for Comcast?" Or, I'd rather apply as a regular position. So I'm going to be applying for different positions with Comcast. But I want to go either work it's really Infinity because, Infinity is owned by Comcast. So either I'm going to apply for like a regular sales consultant position for Infinity, but I'm not going to do strictly sales, because calling people and most people ain't gonna sign up for no Infinity. They're gonna hang up. So I said I don't want to do that. So I'm starting to look for a regular job at this point. Shoot, even if I have to apply at McDonald's or I wouldn't do no McDonald's. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna apply for a little evening job at Walmart because they be hiring all the time. I'm hoping that you get to stay home. Exactly. But I decided at this point in my life, I would either have to, update my skills, and I'm going to apply for Gwinnett Technical College. I've been looking at doing that and going into the IT field. It has a program for cybersecurity, and it's a certificate. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go, I'm just going to go a whole scratch, the whole thing with customer service or anything else. So I'm just going to look for like a nighttime job, say like Walmart, Kroger. No, not Kroger. I don't want to do Kroger. I don't even want to get into that story with Kroger's. I applied for Walmart because they got their tuition reimbursement program. But I'm gonna do that I'm gonna do that interview with State Farm, and I was thinking about getting into robotics to repair the robots that are taking over. You know what? I will find a technical school somewhere and enroll in some kind of program like that. I was reading something in the paper the other day. They said that so college is so expensive that people are not even going to college. That because a lot of people are not applying for going to college, they said there was a lot of grants and scholarships that goes unclaimed because of that. And there's such a need for people to go into there's so certain fields is so in demand that they trying to get people to go into the field, and they're gonna try to get women. They're trying to get women into the field, and I figured like this: me, a black woman, my age, and they trying to get women into certain fields. There's probably scholarships galore. So you don't have to necessarily go to a 4-year college. And, if I had to start all over again, I would never have gone to graduate school and got an MBA degree. I would have never went. I would have never took the route. And to be honest, I would have never gone to college. I would have gone into the military like I was going to do in the first place. Oops. And, spent 20 years in the military, and then I would have retired at 38, 40, and then go into another field or career altogether, and still would have been young enough to go into another career after spending years in the military versus working as a civilian in the federal government. Yeah, that's true. Going into schools and then shoot 14,000, just try 50,000 in some cases. These colleges and stuff, it ain't worth it. Even if you was going to college for engineering, they don't even teach you the skill set to do the job. So technical college, they've been trying to promote that. They've been trying to go with technical school, free technical college, and people go to school for free. And people ain't taking advantage of it. But I tell you who's taking advantage of it, mostly Indian and other people from other countries. They come to the United States and they be trying to enroll in those technical schools, getting those scholarships. But that's, so then you're not guaranteed a job. Yeah, you're not guaranteed a job afterwards for any college or university. But at least a technical school or trade school, you learn hands-on. That a lot of companies are looking towards technical and trade schools to hire employees. But let me go and talk about my topic though. So last night I was watching one of the live streams for Mandy Martinez and they was talking about do not sign a petition for Uber do not sign a petition where in California they were changing over from 1099 to W-2 self. They were changing from self-employed to employees, and there was a couple of videos going around. People were like, "Uber needs your help," and they want people to sign petitions so the state legislator in California does not. They could reverse the decision from 1099 to employees. So I was speaking to someone else earlier, and they said, you know what? Nobody's forcing people to do Uber or Lyft. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. Don't turn your app. But the point that I was making, it's not about freedom of choice to do these apps, and um, Uber is now forcing people to sign up to drive Uber and Lyft. My thing was, it's not the point about someone is not forcing you to drive for Lyft and Uber. The point is that people are not they were using your own resources, using your own car, and how you're not being paid fairly in terms of the rates and the rules. I said it's not the point that you're not forced to do it, but they're treating you like an employee, which is misclassification. Because I always said, yeah, you may be an independent contractor, but you don't negotiate your rates. You're not negotiating your conditions of your own vehicle. Just give an example. Uber forced people to take people who have dogs. Now, under the American Disability Act, if someone has a dog or whatever, and you're blind and you pick them up, you can't discriminate under that condition and rule. And we know that. But when you start having jackasses and fucking fools who get in your car with a dog on your lap, they're not blind, they're not disabled. That dog is not a comfort dog, and you may not be able to see disability. Sometimes you don't see disabilities. But some people know darn well that their fur babies or dogs in particular tend to be people's children, and they wanted to just have the dog in the car for no reason, none, not no reason. You could tell a difference. You could tell a service animal versus a regular random pet, but people want to go and carry their dog and in the car because they want to go to the grocery store, and then they have the dog in the shopping cart and all kind of crazy stuff, and people think you're not supposed to say nothing, so how are you going to sit up here and implement such type of rule? Or what is another crazy thing that Uber Lyft? If you don't want to go into certain neighborhoods, and you may say, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to turn off my app and go back somewhere else to make more money, But then, they put you these rules like the rating system and so much, grading system. That's a job. That's you being evaluated as an employee with all those conditions. You're not an independent contractor under certain conditions, on a lot of different conditions with these apps. Whether you do food delivery and stuff, it's a certain level of service you're supposed to provide, but nobody's forcing you to work. Nobody forces no one to turn on the app and work, but there's a cross. There's a red line between that. So, my opinion, I would not sign a petition of keeping drivers or gig workers as independent contractors. You know, the thing I heard last night, mostly people were talking about, we want it in writing. We want to know what's going to happen, what you're going to do for us. You know, Uber and Lyft and all these companies ain't did shit for all these years for anybody. And all of a sudden, because California decides to properly classify as employees, so they could, you know, people think being classified as employees, they think it has to do with salary. You know, they're not gonna pay you. You know, they you could make, you don't make. First of all, you still being dictated how much you're gonna get paid. You know, if they tell you to go, we're gonna like Grubhub and DoorDash and all these food delivery apps. They're gonna tell you, okay, we're gonna pay you um, $3 plus whatever tips you may get or may not get. We may pay you for mileage and may not pay you for mileage. That sounds to me, I don't see no freedom in that. I don't see no freedom in being an independent contractor because your pay is already set. These algorithms and these apps, they already um, have it set. They know what you're going to get paid. They know exactly how much your pay is going to be when they send you those orders. Because if they tip on the app, they already tipped on the app. If they didn't tip up on the app, they didn't tip on the app. They know the distance. They know who's the closest driver to these places and locations. It's all programmed. And all this stuff about, oh, it's going to control the saturation of drivers out there. And Uber knows, and Lyft and all these other companies, they have forecasting. They can forecast based on statistics, based on numbers. When is it going to get busy? What time is it going to be busy? How many people they need on the road? All of that thing is accounted for. It has nothing to do with, oh, it's too many drivers. That's why we're not making no money. No, you're not making any money. It's because the rates are too low, and they are stealing and taking more money than need to, without any input from a driver at all, except for those kiss ass people like, oh, I love Uber. Uber's the best thing. Oh, I love it. I love it. You know, but they truly want to hear the truth. Now they need your help to sign a petition, and then you could threaten. First of all, who are you going to threaten? The state of California. We have to go to being employees for the workers. We're going to leave California. Man, bye. You know, where the hell y'all going? First of all, you're not paying corporate income tax. You don't pay no taxes at all. You know, you're a technology company. You don't need a physical presence of an office. And if you really wanted to save money, you'll put your, you know, you'll be like Uber. You have your customer service in Malaysia somewhere. You open up a couple of call centers, sites for people to work. But you paying them what, $8-9 an hour. You know, whoopie do. Whoopie do. You know, if whether you independent contractors and they could deactivate you whenever they want with no reason. You know, well, this customer said you did this, deactivate it. You know, so if you think that staying independent, being an independent contractor because you're thinking about freedom, Gen 6, in California, they passed a law that now Uber drivers and Lyft and probably all the food delivery apps, they are now employees. They are not 1099 contractors, and that's going to be in California. So Uber wanted to send out notifications for people to sign a petition so they could have the drivers sign a petition that they want to stay as independent contractors versus employees. So the state of California has ruled that it was that in California only, not across the country, that they are employees and not independent contractors. So people are up in arms about they don't want to be, I don't want to go back and report to a boss. I want the freedom to do what I want. And I'm making a point that you don't have the freedom to do what you want. Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, everything is monitored on the app. They treating you like employees, but people in depression thinking, oh well, I'm an independent contractor. I could do what I want. I can make no. You could do what you want. You could turn the app when you want. That may be true, but anybody knows um, certain times of the day you make money. Weekends come, everybody wants to do deliveries, and people's like, is that too many drivers? It's supply and demand. It has nothing to do with saturation. As big as Atlanta is, I'm not going to leave Stone Mountain and do Grubhub or any of those food apps and go way on the other side of town to College Park. I'm going to start where I'm at and then make my way towards wherever it takes me. So, and there ain't enough drivers that's saturating the market. I don't care if you're in New York, Chicago, California, wherever. All the algorithms shows the demographics of people who take the service, how many people are driving, how often people are driving. All of that is accounted for. So please stop saying, oh, there's too many drivers. We need to put a cap. The only cap they're going to be putting on is a cap on the money that Uber's going to pay drivers and delivery people. And not just Uber, all of the companies. Do you think, when I started doing these gig jobs almost 3 years ago, back in 2016 in the summer when I started, I could work about 40 hours, maybe. Yeah, I could make like 40 hours. I could work, and I could make 700 and something on dollars a week. And I wasn't piecing my money together. If I was going to do Instacart 1 week, I'm going to do Instacart. I was making, a good, a ship when I did it. I was making a good 700 something dollars. And that was only working, 30 something hours? Because I ain't working no 50, 60, 70 hours, But it was at least 50 hours. I was making 700 and something. So, as the years went by, and I noticed the difference in money was like, I'm not making a whole bunch of money like I was. And then this year, late last year, beginning of this year, I was like, what? They cut the rates and not even telling you if you're getting tips. You ain't getting no tips. You ain't getting, customers tell you you're getting tips, and then you're like, wait a minute. I was supposed to get tips. What happened? I don't think anyone should sign that petition, because if you be a fool to sign that petition and think that Uber is going to suddenly raise the rates or give you some kind of premier status of some sort. That's a bunch of bull crap that I've ever seen. Nope, I'm not doing no ride sharing, not one. The only one I'm signed up to do is Amazon Flex, and I don't even hardly do that. That's the only one I'm doing is Amazon Flex. So, in Amazon Flex, the restaurant portion of it is just going to be next week. They're not doing Amazon restaurants anymore. So, I want to do Amazon Flex. I could either turn on the app and pick up packages, but I'm not going to do. So, nope, not doing it. Only thing I'm doing is the only thing I'm doing is the merchandising, and I'm not saying this resets either. I'm talking about like different gigs, like field agent and some other ones, but that's like $4 and stuff, and survey.com. But other than that, I'm in the process of looking for another job. I work part-time for a cross mark, but I'm not making enough money doing that. So I'm going to be applying for tomorrow. I'm going to be applying for. I'm applying for a nighttime job at Walmart. Walmart's supposed to be hiring. They had a big old sign up the street, so I'm going to apply at Walmart uh, tomorrow. And then I'm gonna do my video interview tomorrow with State Farm. I have an interview tomorrow. I passed the assessment test that I took online, and then they took me to the next step. So hopefully that will go well, and then go to the next step, which is hopefully a interview face to face. And so I'm going to be applying for other jobs. I'm going to be applying for other jobs. Walmart's hiring, and I'm applying for Walmart. And the only reason why I'm going to apply for Walmart, to be honest, especially if it's at nighttime, is because I'm looking to go back to school to technical. I'm going to go either to Gwinnett Technical College, so I could get a certificate for cybersecurity, and I'm just going to reinvent myself all over again in regards to, starting a new different career, going to a field that's in demand. Because it was between medical billing and coding, and or something in healthcare. I don't want to do nursing. I don't want to be a nurse. I don't want to be. I didn't want to do none of that. And then, when the fall comes, I'm also going to apply for different substitute teaching positions. So when school starts, they're looking for substitute teachers, and they're looking for bus drivers. But I don't want to drive no bus. I don't think I feel comfortable driving no bus with a bunch of kids. So I'm still going to, I'll be looking for a regular job, but I want to go back to school. And it's like a short term, I think it's like a year and a half. And I figured, you know what? What do I got to lose? I can learn a high skill field, go into the high field of IT, and work, work at Walmart, because Walmart and all these companies, let me tell you, if I was a teenager or in my early 18, 19, 20, even if I'm in my early 20s, I'll march myself right onto that damn McDonald's, work at McDonald's at night, because they ain't do shit anyway. They really don't, and take advantage of that scholarships that they got going on. They offering McDonald's. They give you $2,500 a year for you to go to school, and you can use it for anything. I will take advantage of that. I don't care. I'll do it myself. I'm like, what? $2,500? That's like half a tuition at a technical school. I sure would. I would take advantage of, when I worked at the IRS and they had tuition reimbursement stuff. How you think I took advantage of that? I went to school and they had tuition reimbursement, and I put that little, send that little tuition bill, and they paid a portion of my degree. Survey.com, I know they're going to be mad at me because I'm going to do 3 Dollar Tree assignments for $15 to clean it, and I didn't even go to do it today, so they're probably going to remove it, but it pays some, but somebody's been stealing my areas, because I used to have a group of stores that I used to do. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, who's taking my stores? I used to have it, because I know who it is, because the people don't realize you have to sign the vendor book. And when I did have an assignment, I looked in the book, I said, who the hell? And I look as my thoughts go by. So I'm trying to keep certain things to myself. So I'm not discussing any side gig jobs that I do, because that's competition. And so I've been doing a little bit of those, but I also been doing mystery shopping for apartments. They better pay me this couple of days. Yeah, you know what? I've taken out student loans, and trust me, I would be glad to give back six figures, student loan six figures. That's another thing I got to do tomorrow. I got to go online and ask them that I tell them I can't afford to pay my bill thousands of dollars a month, So I don't even want to think about it. It'll give me a headache. My mother asked me a couple months ago, how much is your student loans? I was so ashamed to tell her. I couldn't even tell her. You know, I'm just so disgusted with those student loans. So I said to myself, you know what? I could do all these little side gigs and I could do all these other little stuff, but I don't know what to do. All I could do is best I can and just live I live probably if I live half my life, I think I'm 50. So that means if I live to be 85, standard average, that means I live most of all of my life. I can't worry about it at this point. If I got student loan debts when I passed away and died, what are they gonna do? They can't go to your relatives. They just die away and move on. But um, all I could do now is I have 15, 16 more years of working life. All I could do now is say, you know what, let me go ahead and learn some new skills, you know, take advantage of going to a technical school, take advantage of the scholarships that's out there that's going unclaimed, and say, you know what, I'm a black woman, black woman, and my age. You know how many grants and monies is out there, and I ain't talking about no student loans. That they want people to go into the field. That's why they trying to target young people. They targeting young people, and some people are not even taking advantage of that. Yeah, don't brag. I don't know how you got that discharge, but I already know how you got a discharge. But I'm not. I'm not. I don't have no medical reasons to discharge the student loan debts. So I don't know how that happens. So how that goes. Yeah, I'm gonna get a certificate because that's the only way how I can really go into enter into a new field is gain the hands-on experience. And I've looked into it. And I've been looking at the Gwinnett Technical College. I looked at it, and they have a 99.99% job rating placement, and a lot of big major companies hire people from Gwinnett Tech. I know you weren't bragging. I just said that just because. All right. Well, Chick-fil-A's closed. And before you could go back to work, but you too picky. I remember the last time I spoke to you, you didn't want to work at the airport. You didn't want to clean planes. So I don't know. Maybe you should maybe you should go apply at Walmart. The Walmart be looking for people and hiring. That's what I would do. So you know what? It's time for me to go. Chick-fil-A's closed. All right, y'all. I see y'all tomorrow. What? We have to talk about that. Send me your phone number, Stephanie, so I can talk to you. I can ask you some questions. All right. Girl, don't using that foot surgery as a reason. There ain't no reason. You could have still gone to school. You know that, right? You could have still gone on to school. All right. I can't. There's something wrong with this dumb laptop, so I can't end the live stream. All right, y'all. Let me go. I'll talk to y'all later. All right, y'all. I will talk to you later. Y'all have a good night. Bye.